you so freaking bad. Wrestle me.
Welcome, everybody, to Juice Pro Wrestling, episode 210. Belushi, Speed, Bob. With us this fucking week, we have a very special guest all the way from fucking Louisville, Kentucky. He's a part of the fucking awesome thrash outfit known as Belushi Speedball. Ladies and gentlemen, boils and motherfucking ghouls, please welcome Vinny Crastellano. Vinny, how the fuck are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I didn't deserve that. That was a good intro.
Tell you what, you deserve a spanking, man. You looking good tonight.
Thank you. My Stella, she's bitey right now. She's in a bitey mood.
Oh man, she wants to be interviewed because from what I understand, I mean, she's, you know, the main attraction in Belushi Speedball. Am I wrong?
It is. Yeah, you can buy this picture on canvas of her next to a picture of her next to a picture of her that she autographed. We call it Stellception. It's on canvas. This is the first one we made and have yet to sell. So we sell the crap out of her little paw print autographs. So you can either get a picture of her or a picture of her next to her that she autographed that she then autographs. And $2. Yeah.
It's a lot of pussy, brother. Hey, let's just jump right into it.
Yeah.
I hope everybody out there watching and listening had a great fucking Halloween. You guys just played a Halloween show just recently. Tell us a little bit about that shit, because your guys' shows, from what I understand, are just fucking, they're always different. They're always, it's like a theatrical setting to them. You guys very much, you know, just put it all out there and rip shit and destroy shit and have fun with it. So what was that show like?
Yeah, it was wild. So we did wrestling. We did a wrestling thing for our first time, which is it's synchronicities. You hit us up right after we did the best one, you know. So it was good. We every show is different, like you said. We have a different theme, different types of things we throw out, different stuff that happens. The whole premise of the band is that we have a manager, and every idea is like, this is the one that's going to make the band famous. And it always just goes awry, and then we end up destroying the venue, you know, like that's the whole premise. So, but yeah, it was fun. You know, like I said, we did wrestling. And it actually, we got the idea because our guitarist got a real job, for Frito-Lay, and
shoot.
Yeah. So yeah, that's right. Yeah, shooting. See, I watch. That's all I watch on YouTube. It's just wrestlers just talk crap about other wrestlers. So I love that. I love that term. Yeah, they're shooting at each other, right? So, but yeah, he got a real job. He's working at Frito-Lay. And
dude, I'll tell you what, man. What is it? The fucking chili cheese Fritos. To die for.
They're hard to get. It has something to do with the seasoning. So
you're telling me that shit now? You're scaring me. Halloween's over, brother. No scaring.
Those are so delicious. God bless. It has something to do with the company that does the seasoning can only get them so much of it, so it's hard to find them. It's like limited.
So weird.
Yeah, that was a whole debacle because another member of our band's obsessed with them, and it's hard for him to get them. But so Kyle got a real life job, like real job, you know. And so we did a funeral for him. And we came out to the Undertaker theme song, and we carried one of our, we call them, you know, recruits or whatever. But, you know, we always have extra people in Belushi that just go out and destroy the crowd, and they do vocals with us. And
yeah,
we came out to the Undertaker theme, and we did coffin flops, you know, from I Think You Believe. So we flopped the body out. So then we got the idea that, like, you know, Halloween was coming up. We're like, let's just do wrestling. It's like Belushi goes so hand in hand with wrestling. It's about time, you know. So that's what we did, and each one of us was a different wrestling character. Daniel Neal was Shane McMahon, which God bless is so amazing.
Here comes the money.
Yeah, so you know, we came out to all the different songs. We had it all cut.
Ric Flair was there, I understand, right?
Yeah. So Jameson Land from he was, Beefcake of the Mighty for Guar for 10 years.
Yeah.
And he came out as Ric Flair. And that's so funny because he's like, I'm up there just sweating my ass off. And he's like, God, it's like, I thought I escaped Guar. He's just he's in a worse version. And then so I was Macho Man. And then I think we had 6 people, 6 extras, but they're all in the band. Michael and Hawthorne and Jack, they're all staples. Hawthorne and Jack played full terror with us, but they all came out as different wrestlers. So we sent them out as DX. And then Senior Diablo came out as Marv from Sin City because, do you get the connection to wrestling?
With Marv? Oh, yeah. Well, because what's his nuts? Yeah, appeared in WWE with Jericho and shit. What's his? I can't think of his name. The actor who played Marv. Stretton. Who is it?
It's Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke. Yes.
Movie, The Wrestler. So that
he also did The Wrestler. Yeah.
Yeah.
Randy the Ram J.
Exactly. Fucking slices his finger off. So that's how Diablo's brain works. It's like all these different connections to where like he means well, but he doesn't understand. So he came out dressed up, looking identical to Marv. And then Jazzy, our bassist, was the best. She came out as Mankind and someone right in the mouth. So we just got done doing a wrestling thing, and we had a pinata full of candy cream corn because the cream always rises to the top. So that's okay. You do it better. You do it for everyone. For the
cream always rises to the top. Yeah,
it's so good.
Thank you, dude. And much like professional wrestling, boys and girls, don't try this at home because, the risks are real. Let everybody know what happened to your ass, man.
Oh, yeah. So we do a breakdown song called Glass Bones and Paper Skin. And it's 2006 as blood runs black, like you're, so it's just metalcore. And so it's just literally just a minute and a half of a breakdown that just keeps slowing down. And we always lay down on the ground and we play Nightcrawlers from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Hell yeah.
Rolls around. We've been doing that for 5 years. It makes me really mad that Islander does it once. It gets 1 million views on their video, but whatever. So it's whatever, I'm not famous yet, but so I'm laying down on the ground and I got whipped in the eye with cobwebs covered in cream corn and hard. So I got my Macho Man glasses on to hide that.
The risks are real, brother. The risks are fucking real.
Yeah. We always joke that this is how we're gonna die. So one of our recruits got like cobwebs all around his neck and he couldn't breathe. We had to like cut it out.
Oh shit, dude.
Choked to death. I tried not to laugh. It was really funny.
You're lucky Mankind didn't fucking get wrapped up in it and lose his ear, That's art imitating real life right there.
Oh, bless. Yeah.
So there's this connection with you and professional wrestling, man. Where does it begin with you and how deep does it go?
Whole life. I loved it. I stopped watching it for a bit there. I think everyone goes through that phase. But yeah, when I was a kiddo, I had a big boss man, like Slam Buddy.
Oh, the wrestling buddies. You got the boss man one? Dude, that's awesome.
And yeah.
I still got a bunch, dude. I got the Road Warriors. I got Ultimate Warrior. I got Hogan. Yeah.
See, my brother had he had Hogan. He had the cool one. I get it. I watched the interview with Hunter. Hunter doesn't like Hogan. And I respect that. I understand. Because I think we all go through that whenever you start getting older and it changes and you don't respect the new Hall of Famer or whatever. But, so I also apparently everyone hated Hogan. I just watched a video on that. So,
Yeah. I mean, politics, all the shit we didn't know as little kids, I mean, we were all like, oh, dude, he was like Superman.
It's like the Ultimate Warrior. Everyone hated him. Apparently, he couldn't wrestle that good. I didn't know. I thought it was amazing. He's just that body.
Dude, the body, Jesse, the body.
Oh, God. The damn thing stuck in there like an Alabama tick. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, as a kid, man, I loved it. And then, I was 10 during the Attitude Era. So I had the best childhood. Man, we were stone cold stunning the shit out of each other. Like, Stone Cold, The Rock, DX. Like, it was a good childhood to have. That video game, Raw, came out for PlayStation, and where Stone Cold's like on the CD, like,
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I was cool, man. I liked ICP when I was 10 really badly. And then, so like it all goes hand in hand. It's what influenced my music. I actually stopped watching it whenever Shane McMahon formed, God bless him, it was like with Rikishi and stuff. He had like his group and they had a group and they all formed together.
Like the Alliance when Vince bought WCW and ECW.
Yes. Yeah. Whenever that all happened, I stepped away for a bit. And then, and honestly, I would watch old matches and stuff all the time. And I started going back maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I really like AEW a lot. It's so good. AEW is so good. And then honestly with WWE, I was a little bit like, because they became very family friendly. But man, Dexter Lumis, that's my boy.
Dude, he's so awesome, right? He's like a Patrick Bateman.
He got the floor out of the ring and dragged him down in there. I lost my shit. So yeah. No, but my whole childhood, man, it's fun, so the blast. And I respect. So I live in Louisville, right? OVW. Yeah. It was a ground for all the wrestlers to go into WWE. So I go to the gym a lot, and I got to meet all these dudes, and I got to talk to them all.
No shit.
And a lot of them, man, the stories they would have and stuff. And like you see it from their perspective of what they have to go through athletically and physically and mentally. And it is hand in hand when you are, especially, man, 10 years ago, 2005, 2008, like around there, 2010, like that whole span there, early 2000s. It is not much different than starting out in a band.
Yeah.
You got to promote, you got to get people there. You're wrestling in front of like maybe 50 people. It's vice versa.
Handshaking a hot dog, brother.
Exactly, dude. So, but yeah, man, my whole life, I respect the hell out of those dudes.
What's some of, if anyone you can remember, like any one of these people that you've met or any one of the stories you could share?
Okay. Oh God, I was drinking at dinner. I'm sorry. So hold on.
All right. I'm drinking right now, brother.
Okay, who was the Pope for TNA Impact?
Oh, D'Angelo De Niro.
Yeah, it was Elijah.
Elijah Burke. Yeah.
We interrupt this wonderful episode for a short word from our shoot sponsors. Check out Slowpoke Toys to see an ever-expanding collection of toys and collectibles. Treat yourself and get something for you. Need to get a gift for a special somebody, a buddy, a friend, a loved one, a coworker? It doesn't matter. Visit slowpoketoys.com, the manufacturer of toys and collectibles you never knew you needed.
Okay, I met Elijah Burke at the gym. I worked out with him for a lot. So Elijah Burke is someone that I remember, and he would, we're friends. We'd talk all the time. I didn't know who he was, actually, because again, during that span of time, I wasn't watching it. And my buddy was the one who's like, do you know who that is? I'm like, it's my buddy, Elijah. But, I saw, it was actually, I ran across his action figure. I said to him, I was like, dude, why didn't you tell me who you were? And he tried to play dumb. Like he didn't know, like, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, this is you. Like, he's like,
this is what I'm talking about. Whip the action figure out of your fucking jock or something.
I drove it on my phone and I show him, I'm like, this is you. And he's like, man, I don't want everyone to know, they chased me in here. But, the other one, British dude, he was cool as hell from TNA, actually, because OVW to TNA. Now, they called him the Beast. It was Ron or Ryan. Oh, man.
Beast.
Huge, 6'5", just jacked out of his mind.
Bodybuilder?
Yeah.
Rob Terry?
Yes. Yeah, Rob Terry. Yeah, I couldn't think of it. Rob the Beast Terry. Yes. So I worked out with him a few times, and dude, he was cool as shit.
That dude is a monster, dude.
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
Mountain meat.
He'd be overhead pressing 315. Like standing. Like, such a man. Nice.
That's crazy. I overhead press like 30 pounds.
Yeah. Whatever my fucking 2-year-old is, that's what I overhead press.
Yeah, he was cool, man. So, and the thing is, I didn't know who these guys were because I wasn't watching it. I just hanging out with them and stuff at our gym, and then someone would tell me. And then I'd find out later, I'd watch him, like, hey, man, watch your matches. He told me he was a wrestler. I didn't know he was. I also don't like the fanboy. I don't, you told me, I want to give them their respect and their space. We met as friends. I don't want that to change. So, but yeah, he was cool. He was cool as hell. And we'd work out a few times. And his wife she looked like Laura Croft, and she was all Britishy. And so
36, 24, 36.
Ow. Yeah. So no, that's it. You just cut that story of Elijah, the portion. He was nice.
We got you, man. We got you.
No problem.
So were you going? Have you been to any like live wrestling events, or do you go now?
I haven't went lately. No. Me and my dad went to a few OVW ones when I was a kiddo, when I was younger. It's money and time. It's when they're older, I'm going to take them. But I wanted to go to WWE's coming to the Yum Center. I really wanted to go. And, just to see Lesnar alone. And tickets were 50% off. So it was $20 a ticket. So me and my buddy were going to go. The fees were $80 a piece.
Oh,
yeah.
What the fuck is that? Like,
it was $40 for tickets, $160 in fees. I told him, like, I cannot pay that out of good conscience, so yeah, money's tight, you know what I mean? And then it's tough, man. And then playing in Belushi, I'm always out having to, do live music and see live music and stuff. So that takes up a big portion of the time. So
yeah, for sure. Dude, and kind of going back to what you said about fanboying it and shit, like I'm very much the same way. I mean, but it's weird, like the difference I have within doing this show and like Stratton and I and Bodie, which shout out to Bodie. He's fucking, his throat's all fucked up, too much hot jizz down there. I don't know what was going on, but it happens. We do a lot of these indie shows and a lot of like in Chicagoland, what you consider super indies, whether we're doing like a live podcast there or I'm just backstage hanging out with the guys because I know like the promoter and a lot of the talent back there. And it's weird because there's been instances where, dude, I walk in the doors in the back and, oh, there's Bret Hart. And I'm like, like, let's go leave him alone. It was cool because I hear him bitch. He's like, we really got to fucking wear these masks the whole time, like. But other than that, I mean, a lot of guys that you see on like some of, everything, even on AEW TV, all the top like Impact, MLW, all the big promotions, this place called Warrior Wrestling in Chicago Heights always books these guys. And it's surreal. And you get guys coming from New Japan as well. And to be sitting there and hear them going over their matches. And it's like, it's hard to like, you don't want to fucking disturb them. And I don't want to, because they get that shit all the day, all the time. But at the same time, I'm running a show and I'm like, hey, I want you to come on and I want you to be comfortable. Right. But I don't want to be that like marky ass motherfucker that's just like, oh, and you won't want to do my show. So I have a cooler. I usually have a cooler of Stone Cold's beer that I bring with me and I sit and I'm just, dude, I'm just cool, man, because I am just cool. And I chop it up with these guys. I fucking give them a couple beers. We start talking. And then it's like, hey, you want to come on the show sometime and just fucking rap about whatever? And they're like, yeah. And like I had Moose on like right after he won the fucking Impact World title.
Yeah,
like,
so yeah,
nuts, man.
That's what. So I mean this. Whenever I was watching your podcast interview, I thought it was phenomenal. And not to. I'm not saying I wouldn't say this if I didn't think this. I wouldn't tell you what I thought if I hated it, but I wouldn't tell you this. No, phenomenal. The way you were, man, like just the way you talk, I think it's awesome. I love your show.
Thank you.
Like,
I have fucking
be here to be chosen. So thank you.
Hell yeah. I really appreciate that, dude. So how I found you guys, and it's been really recent. So you guys played FTA, right? Very, very familiar with Full Terror Assault and all the guys that run it. My old band Moistened Disciples played the first one.
Oh, cool.
Current band Handsome Prick, we played 2021, I think like 2018. So like every other year they tend to invite us, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But I saw your guys' name on the bill, and I'm like, all right, who are these guys? I'm gonna check them out, right?
Yeah.
And then I see the videos of it, and it's just like, dude, like, what the fuck is going on, you know? And then after that, we have Techno Destructo of Guar fame on the show, which is the episode that you checked out. And thank you so much, by the way, for doing so, man. It was so weird that he just threw out all of a sudden. He's like, hey, you know, I did art for these guys. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude, because that's
that's
like everything. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
Hunter Jackson,
specific. Yeah,
which he just wrestled for Lucha Vavoom in California, and I haven't checked. I don't know if he got his ass kicked or not.
God bless it. He was telling me he was doing luchador training, and I am so in awe of him. Again, I don't fanboy him. I try not to let him know how much of a huge fan I am. But what an inspiration! What a amazingly talented human being. Yeah, just oozes talent. And that, God bless my cat so bad. I'm sorry, she's scratching at the poster. Yeah, she just wants attention. No, what a super talented human being. And then I live by his mantra, which is don't say it, just do it. Like that. You know, they always said that. And yeah, man, you put anything you put your head to. If you want to do it, just go do it. But that man, how old is he? Is he in his 50s?
60s, dude.
60s. I hope to God I look like that. He is in such good shape.
Dude, he's got, I mean, what are you talking about? Let me see them guns real quick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A little bit of flossing. Look at this guy. I hope, dude, you're like 3 times the size of Techno.
No.
Yeah. Robot man is funny bone.
I'm not 5'8", so that's the thing. But no, dude, and then he was telling me he's doing lucha training. And it blew my mind because of how intense that is, you know?
Yeah.
So I had to go, like, you know, like, man, he's like, yeah, you know, he's telling me all about it. I was like, holy shit. Yeah. So good for him, man. Proud of him.
It's crazy. And like you said, I mean, a guy that's started something, you know, this thing that has influenced and spawned so many things, including, you know, you guys, you know, with Guar, it's just nuts.
I have this right in front of me. It's this. That's where I discovered.
Dude, it's been like a good 5 or 6 years since I last played that, but me and my buddy did a speed run through it.
Yeah.
Fucking filmed it. I love that game, dude. And in the Sega version, the Super Nintendo one could suck my balls.
Sega one's really good because it's like a click adventure. Yeah. What's your time? What do you run it in? I gotta hear this because no one else speed runs it, but me, you know.
Dude, I'd have to go back. I don't remember. Like I said, it's been like 5 or 6 years. And we didn't do a speed run for the sake of like, yeah, we want to get the record time. We're just trying to see how quick we could do it. Cause dude, I just turned 40 years old. I've been playing that game since it came out. Yeah. You know, like I know where everything's at, every piece of the ticket, every little nuance that you have to do to like, just
let's talk about this. How broken is it? As a kid, if you go out of sequence, if you don't go to the drive-in theater, right, you buy like a gun or something or the snake, you lose.
Yeah.
You don't have enough money to be able to beat the game. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, it's a game. We could never beat it because we did 2 things out of order. Yeah.
Dude, but that was what was so cool about that game is unlike the Super Nintendo, it's just your regular side scroller, whatever. There was a little more thought involved in the Sega version, which is why I like it so much, man.
Same. Yeah, I'm still finding stuff, man. I just found out like so with Burger World, this is so stupid. I'm sorry.
It's not though. This is the type of shit we talk about.
Sure. With Burger World, you go to Burger World. I didn't know this. If you turn left right away where the front of the store is and go straight back into the right, you get food. I didn't know that.
By the dumpster.
No, I knew that. You enter the level, straight back and over, and you disappear. You can't even see your character.
Oh, no shit. Yeah. Okay.
Dude, there's so much shit in that game I'm still discovering. Like it was deep. It was a good game. It was hard, but it was good. Yeah. So yeah. No, it's fine. But yeah, man, that's like you're saying, that's where I mean, honest to God, that's where I discovered him was Beavis and Butthead. I was probably 4. You know, and
everybody, dude, like Grim Reaper. We had Steve Grimmett on the show, R.I.P. man. He I discovered them through Beavis and Butthead. Guar through Beavis and Butthead. countless other bands through Beavis and Butthead. You know, like when I was a kid, my musical palette and everything was kind of set by like Nirvana, Beavis and Butthead, and like Eazy-E, NWA, you know. So I was finding out all this other shit, all these other bands through those three, you know, nexuses, if you will.
Yeah. And man, it was an interesting show. I just watched I watched something. Well, hell, it might have been
The new shit?
Guar related, but I just watched something on Beavis and Butthead with the fact that Mike Judge was able to go above MTV's thing and say, and so like bands he liked, he could stick on there that they normally wouldn't music video. That's really interesting.
Dude, I mean, you had Morbid Angel and shit on there. Like, remember when they were doing the bow to me faithful?
King Diamond, Merciful Fate was on there, man. I would never, like, as a kiddo, these are, because, you know, no internet back then, man.
Yep.
You would have never seen these bands. How would you have discovered them? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just think about how that shaped. It's so interesting.
Speaking of fucking Merciful Fate, dude, I'll be seeing them with Midnight and Creator in Gary, Indiana on the 3rd.
Go to, I heard, because it's not it's general admission the whole way, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong on that? Yeah. That's the one everyone wants to get to. So,
yeah, there were some people in Chicago bitching about it though online when they first announced it. It's like, why aren't they coming to Chicago? Like, you know what? Because truth be told, we're 30 minutes from Chicago. We're not in the actual city. We're in Northwest Indiana, but dude, we're about a 30-minute drive when you say Sredden, like to get into Chicago.
Yeah,
dude, we've been going to all these shows out there forever, and I like it, but the parking is the drizzling fucking shits, dude.
It's rough. You're paying out the ass for it too.
Well, you're paying out the ass, and depending where you park, it's dude. I've been out there before with some of my dumb ass friends. Yeah, I said I have some dumb ass friends. When I was a kid, and we're in Wrigleyville, and we pull up to his fucking sign that straight up says, I even questioned him when I got out of the fucking car. I'm like, hey man, check this sign out. It's saying like no parking from here to there, or you'll be towed. Oh no, we're good, man. We're good. Totally. All right, dude. We come back. His fucking car is gone. And we walked for so fucking long. It got towed. We finally found the place and it was closed. We couldn't do shit. And we were way too late to take the train back. So we spent the night, dude. And it was like Grant Park or some shit like that. And I just remember like I had no money. I had enough money to like maybe get a bag of chips, which I got a giant bag of Doritos and enough for the fucking train ticket in the morning, right? We had to wait 8 hours. And I'm sitting on the curb, and then this fucking homeless dude just comes up, this big stinky motherfucker, and just doesn't even ask, just dips his hand in my bag of chips. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, here, dude, just take it. Just take it. And mind you, I'm wanting to kill my fucking friend, dude. Like, I'm like, you stupid motherfucker. You are the reason. And the whole reason we went out there was at the time to pick up my girlfriend, who went to a show, and we didn't have cell phones at the time. This is like early 2000s.
Sure.
I was working at Guitar Center. They weren't paying me jack shit. So like she had to find a ride home somewhere. And like, they thought that I didn't even show up to pick her up. And I'm freaking out. So I'm getting, you know, the business, if you will, from her mother. And I'm sitting there and I want to be like, bitch, you don't know what I just fucking went through. Shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here. It was a fucking nightmare. But that's Chicago, dude. And hey man, you know, a lot of people will bitch about like Gary or something, but you hear about Chicago like all the time. It's like just all the craziness that's going on out there. Like,
that's a real thing. Yeah. So a lot of people, they don't believe me. I'm like, you gotta be careful. You know, like there's areas, especially man, getting your car towed, that sucks. So, but yeah, I don't mess around out there. There's places, man, you know, if I'm in Kokomo, Indiana, whatever, I'll park anywhere. Yeah, but no, they got spotters, dude. They got dudes that's what they get paid to do is wait for you to walk away, and they call up the tow immediately. Yeah. They get a cut, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, you know, don't block the hustle there. You know, you help them eat that night.
So all you fucking Chicagoans that are ripping on King Diamond, you know, Merciful Fate taking GI over you motherfuckers. Hey, go fuck yourselves. I'll take it. I only got to drive like 10 minutes from my house to go see this shit.
There's actually a cool hack if it's a bigger show, which a lot of the shows we go to are smaller, whether they're music or pro wrestling. But my hack is Reggie's on the south side. Parking there is pretty cheap, and you can find a couple spots that are free. But then they have shuttle service to all the bigger concerts. It's free shuttle service. And so what you would essentially pay that like difference, whatever it is, like, I don't know, $20-$30.
Right.
You can go have a couple beers or a burger or sandwich or whatever at Reggie's. And then you get on the bus, you give the guy like $5 for driving you. And then you go to the show and he drives you back.
That's perfect.
And it's just, you don't have to worry about it. And you have to hassle. And if you're one of us that lives in Indiana, or you live in, I don't know, you live in a lot of the suburbs, because the highway to go west is nearby. It's ideal. You get parked back and you just zoom back home. It also saves you about a half hour of driving.
Reggie's
hey, motherfuckers, this is 2022. Call a fucking Uber.
Yes. Also, don't be a cheap ass. Get an Uber.
But depending on the scale and size of the show, for instance, I was just at Riot Fest. Dude, when we left, I mean, there's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of motherfuckers there. And when we left, we were walking for blocks because everybody's calling an Uber. You know, you couldn't get one. I think we waited a good hour, and I'm wearing Chuck Taylors. So I'm like, my feet are just killing me, dude, after standing all day there and then walking, I don't know, maybe at least a mile or two away, just trying to find them, know where I'm at. I went with my drummer's sister and my old lady, and like, hey, you think you might, get a ping or something sometime soon?
Which is our Riot Fest, essentially. A couple years, I guess last year we saw Metallica, and same experience. You got to walk a bit, and then the Uber was expensive, and it was a pain to get to. So, Hey
man, but when you get that and it is expensive, like I said, if you're your dogs are fucking barking, call my dog a woof. And you've been fucking doing it for a minute, I will pay whatever that motherfucker asks.
Absolutely. No, I'm right there with you.
So you're down in Kentucky, man. You fuck with one of the homies' previous guests of the show, George C. Romero, son of George A. Romero. He's got a fucking restaurant down there, man.
What?
Checked it out. Yeah, it's called Romero's, man. You should look into that.
God, where's it at in Kentucky? Is it in Louisville?
I think it is Louisville.
I think it's near Louisville. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? God.
Call Romero's, dude.
Because his property is he's got a farm or something, like a property, like a ranch or a complex.
Super awesome, dude.
Cult and shit. No, but I think he's in Louisville.
Lexington. No, you said there's a ranch.
That's his house. It's his house, not the restaurant. Yeah, I don't. But it's Louisville. He lives near Louisville.
Okay, I didn't know that, man. That's wild. That's cool.
What wild and crazy kids.
If I'm wrong, I'll adjust the edit.
No. I'm just oblivious with stuff like that. But we're pretty on it. We try all sorts of restaurants. That's where we're at today. Was a dim sum place out here that just opened back up. They closed during the pandemic, and so. Yeah.
We interrupt this wonderful episode for a short word from our shoot sponsors. Check out Slowpoke Toys to see an ever-expanding collection of toys and collectibles. Treat yourself and get something for you. Need to get a gift for a special somebody, a buddy, a friend, a loved one, a coworker? It doesn't matter. Visit slowpoketoys.com, the manufacturer of toys and collectibles you never knew you needed.
Dude, you guys, and one thing I noticed about you too, man, and you could tell, I mean, you could look in the background, you could see all this shit. But dude, your t-shirt.
So, yeah.
Dude, you're a huge pop culture guy, man. I mean, you're from the gaming to, the cartoons and movies and all that shit, dude. Like, what's some of your favorite stuff, man?
Man, I love comics. I love comic books a lot.
I did see I was creeping on a come up on your Instagram, dude.
Yeah.
You got a lot of graded shit, right?
Not a lot, no. So I those are the key. I do. You
got some fucking, and they're low grades, but still to have those books. Imagine even 50 years from now. I don't care if it's scored a 1 or a 2. If you have like Amazing Fantasy or something like that, it's like still baller to have.
One of them you liked was I think you saw My Journey into Mystery 83, the first floor. It's in a 1.0, and that's well, the price has dipped, but it got all the way up to about 8,000 is what it was going for. So I had an eBay account I opened up in when I was 13 in 03, just so I could buy stuff I couldn't get. And when I turned about 16, I started getting money. I grew up next to a comic shop. And I always said, whenever I get money, I'm going to buy the books I've always wanted. And so that's where a lot of that is. And so what you were seeing too, I think you were liking some of my posts. Some of them were the books were for sale because I landed a book I had to sell whenever I started student teaching. So I had issue 1 of Hulk.
Yeah.
Which it was missing an ad page. It's called a 0.5 incomplete. That's what they call that. It's missing. It's incomplete. It's missing a page. Doesn't affect the story. And I found a similar, shaped book, and I ended up pulling the trigger on it. So I'm selling some of my other stuff. But yeah, I love comics. I love video games, older ones too, especially. Conker's Bad Fur Day and Mega Man X. I'm just nostalgic, which I think our generation, you included in this, are nostalgic for our childhoods because of the drastic change of smartphones and the internet on how we witnessed that just completely morph our life.
Yeah. More so than any other generation, I think, as far as like pop culture goes and like merchandise, whether it's any medium of video games, comics, cartoons. The 80s and 90s were like, dude. Yeah. What are they selling on toy shelves and comic shelves still to this day? All those brands, all those names that we fucking love. And now we're older and got money. And it's like, like this. Yeah. Throws an orgasm, Fuck.
Yeah. No, exactly. 100%. So I remember you would see something, you want to know everything about it. Yeah. You have the internet. You have to so you would really fixate on this thing to learn everything there was to learn about it. It
was work, dude. It was work.
It was. So, I think that's what shaped a lot of us, and it's what shaped the bands. So, I talk about the stuff I love, and I love toys. I like Pokemon cards, yeah.
Dude, so it's funny too because you guys do this thing. So Belushi Speedball has their it's the latest album, is the only one that's on these, right?
I got it right here.
Dude, look at this. This is a Sega Genesis cartridge that will play.
Oh no, before Sega CD. I don't have that anymore. They've sold out.
But you can have them. That's the point. That's what I'm getting at. You make these. You can listen to their latest fucking album on these retro video games, and in there an actual game on it too. Yeah.
So the one for the N64s will pop it up. And it's a flash card is how it works. And we did them for Game Boy. And the Game Boy Advance ones have my hack of Double Dragon. I call it Diablo Dragon. And I resprited the characters to look like our managers in your Diablo. And then our next album is going to be on Super Nintendo. And I reworked a game. I can't say the name because Nintendo's hardcore, but it's like rhymes with Belda. And I resprited everything in it, rewrote the text, and put our music in it. And then the ones we did do Sega CD. It would work for a Sega Genesis, but the cartridge to run it is like $200 a piece. Yeah. So
do you have I know, for your, as we say in the wrestling biz, your shoot job is you're a teacher, man.
I teach high school. Yeah, I teach biology.
That's fucking awesome. And I want to break into that here in a second. But with the gaming part, you're talking about redoing these sprites and shit. Is that something that just became a hobby, hardcore you're into, so you know how to do it? Or is there actual schooling behind that shit?
No schooling, man. I run a gaming club for my kiddos, for my students, and we do retro games. And I force them to play old games. So that was something that's different for me. Not to go on a tangent, but as a kid, I liked playing older games to see where stuff came from, and all my friends did. But the newer generation, they break into two different gamers, and this is so new. So you got straight video game competitive. They play Call of Duty or Halo, and that's it.
Yeah.
the ones that play the single player, and those are the kids that like the older retro stuff, and they'll check it out. Of course, you got some crisscrossing, but it's like, oh, I only play Grand Theft Auto Online. I only play Call of Duty. But in the gaming club, I wanted to see if I could do it so I could show the students. So I did research, YouTube, great stuff on YouTube. It's hard because a lot of times you would find like a clip where someone did it, and then you'd be like, okay, so that can be done. And then you have to go through forums and try to find out how they did it.
It's still so much work, dude. Like digging. I remember trying to mod my original Xbox. Like my buddy gave me his brother's, and it seemed really easy, right? And this is like early aughts, like 2005, 2006, something. And trying to mod this damn thing, and I couldn't do it, dude. It was way too much. I'm like, I know I'm not dumb, but I just need somebody to sit down and be like, this is what you need. This is what you got to do. And I'll get it,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I remember modding Xboxes. Yeah. My buddy burnt his up doing it. You do it so it could play burn games. And then you could also hack it to where it would have like essentially a Raspberry, like an emulator system. The Wii was easier to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have a little USB thing and you stick it in there. But yeah, man, I just self-taught and I enjoyed it. And I see what can I do. And I want to see.
It's great, dude. Like merch wise, that's the shit that impresses me. And I like, and I get, you're talking earlier about like buying books and shit you want. And, it's expensive and you got family, you got shit. You have to justify some shit. Right. But when you're in a fucking band, much like, I'm not a huge Kiss fan. They have like maybe 8 songs I really, really dig. But dude, the merchandising, that's going back to, I want everything Return to Living Dead. I want all this fucking shit. Like, you guys doing that is so different. Like I wanted to do like just a small 7-inch vinyl of our theme song because it's just for a wrestling podcast. Who else has one? Like who else is putting their shit on Sega cartridges, and you're catering to such like, it may not seem like a big community, but it really is. There's like, especially if gamers latch onto that, a lot of gamers, I would imagine, gotta be music fans,
Right.
So it doesn't seem like such a far-fetched idea for me. Like you guys doing that shit, I'd imagine that is it hard to keep them in stock?
So some things are made to order. The N64 cartridges are made to order. I've sold a lot. The Game Boy ones are the same thing. So it's so expensive for me to have it in back stock because like we sell them. I hate even saying the number. We have to sell them for $65 a piece, but they cost $60 to make. Right. So at the end of the day, like I'm not making much, and it's kind of, our fans are good. They're patient. I warn them like, hey, shipment's coming in. And I do that for some things, obviously with shirts and other things we have stocked up. But man, it's one of those things to where you just want it to exist. You don't even care if you sell what you want, if you sell even one of them, you just want the thing to exist. So like, I actually have this because I'm an idiot. I forgot to sell it. It was supposed to be a Halloween exclusive, but hold on. So, because they have batteries in them right now, but I made Tony Forbista his little septum piercing. And so like when he has batteries in him, like he starts moving and stuff, but it plays our single. So I put our single on Furbies, and this is a 1 of 1. This is Tony Forbista. I forgot to sell them because I'm dumb. I was in such a hurry to get out. But like we also got like 8 tracks. We did 8-track tapes.
Oh yes, dude.
This is out of this is because Classic Rock Magazine reviewed us like in print, and they gave us a 5 out of 10. So we do skits in between our songs, and this last we overdid it. I agree, we overdid it. Our skits were long, but we have a skit-free version, and on Spotify, only 2 of the songs have skits on it. So like there's other options. But they said our album was trash, scuppered with unfunny skits. And I had to Google what scuppered means. It means to be like interrupted or like destroyed.
What an asshole for using the word scuppered.
Yeah, well, they're British. So I made 8-track tapes skit free for their age demographic who read Classic Rock Magazine. So So we did. I mean,
I think they got less like followers than we do.
Yeah, fuck 'em. So and it's one of those things to where you just like I made tech decks. We got skateboards. I just want to exist. When I was a kid,
You had little bitty tech decks, the fingerboards.
Yeah, sold out of them, so they're But we do. Yeah, I make them. I mean, they're for sale. If someone buys one, I'll go get more and we'll make more. But yeah, and I make most of the stuff myself, or I figure out.
That's awesome.
The t-shirts we have. Shout out to Full Bleed MFG here in Louisville. We got buddy Eric. He's amazing. He screen printed like a 10 color shirt for us. But like this is the newest thing I made. So if you can see, that's right. So I made this. Yeah, I made Macho Man Vinny Savage action figures. And so I molded and sculpted an action figure from a bunch of different parts. And then I poured, I molded out of latex and poured resin. And so this is resin poured. And then he's not done. I haven't done the bottom half here, but this is hand painted by me. And I'm not hand painting anymore. That one's for me. The rest of them will be sprayed blue. So, I'm going to have action figures coming out. We did little miniature Diablos, and then we've done Slam Buddies of Diablo, wrestling Slam Buddies of him. There's a company called Slam Buddies on Facebook. Shout out to them. They'll make a Slam Buddy out of anyone.
Dude, I got shout out to my drummer Brad Vanderzee, handsome prick. He fucking for my birthday got me one of Gigi Allen, dude. I was like, this is fucking greatest. Throw out the rest of them,
God, what a filthy man.
So filthy. So where does it musically? Where are you coming from, man? What's your background?
What do you mean? Like influence wise, or like?
I mean, not to even. I guess influence, whatever. I hate to ask that lame duck question, but like, just where are you sitting at from back in the day, and where are you sitting at now? Musical tastes, like genres, certain bands. What's rocking your motherfucking world?
Dude, when I was 10, I'll never forget this. We were in Florida with my father passed when I was 23, by the way. So I'm 33. So a lot of my my fond memories come from this. This is why I started the band. After he passed, life's too short. Boom, doing it. So I've been playing in bands since I was 13. When I was in high school, we had a band, and then I did it up until I was about 19. Got into college, wanted to finish school, and then got back into it. But I was 10 years old, and I was in Florida with my father on a trip, and we went to a CD store. And my brother, of all people, he did this twice to me, man. And I was in the rap section because I didn't know I was 10. I watched
it's dangerous. Watch out, Vinny.
I like rap. No, I'm not knocking rap, but
Dog catch about to get you.
I was watching TRL, and like Eminem. Like that's all my exposure was, dude.
Yeah.
MTV, the 99, 2000, a lot of that stuff went away. And my brother, because like I seen ICP once on TV, and of course we knew him from wrestling. My brother went, "Hey, dude, new ICP CD." And he handed it to me, and we bought it. The rest was history. And it was Jekyll Brothers, and that was like their new metal like rap album.
Yeah.
So that was a segue, and then Slipknot came out. And I saw that image, the famous, self-titled image with, the clown in the corner. And I was like, I need that. And then Slipknot, and then boom, the rest was history. I got Metallica. And so I really, growing up, I really liked ICP for their marketing, for their gimmick, for just, genius. It's genius. Like now that I'm older, like some of the stuff's fun, but I'm not like, I don't know, the music's okay. Like I like some of it's cool, but, they're still just so smart with what they did with everything.
They have a cult. They built a cult, dude.
They do, and they're self-made millionaires. Yeah. They really are.
Yeah.
You
watch hate on them business wise, but hey,
so smart. But Misfits. I was 11. I got the Misfits Walk Among Us album.
I just seen them play it live in its entirety. It was brain eaters, dude. Brain eaters live.
In 2019 or 2020, 2019, I saw them, and it was expensive. Yeah. And it was with Power Trip and Fear, and you were at that one. That was a good one. Yeah. It was one of those where I was like, man, if 10-year-old me, maybe you could go see the original Misfits. But
dude, that was so that was, you say in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
You were there. That was there was a lot of fucking wrestlers there that night. And I I fucking met London May. He was walking around. Fucking took a picture with him. And then I'm walking around. And I see God, who the fuck did I see? Matt. Is it Matt Cross? Remember from Lucha Underground? He was the biker dude with the beard.
Man, I'm not familiar with that one.
Sren, do you know what I'm talking about? God damn it. I think it's Matt Cross, but he was there.
God, you guys helped me out whenever I was trying to come up when I couldn't remember my names. I'm sorry.
Like fucking Ruby Riot was there.
That's cool.
WWE and shit. And I seen him and I looked at him and I was like, I know what you do. I was like, fuck, I want to see him and talk to him. There's a bunch of other, I think Mecha Wolf might have even been at that show. There was a bunch of fucking wrestlers there. I know, I think Jake something. He's another indie dude from Michigan he's been killing it in Impact, and now he's just doing some smaller indies and shit. But dude, there's a lot of good shit. If you're like really in the cool thing about wrestling nowadays is there's so many federations, and like the independents now across the country and even out of the country are they're so abundant. And with streaming and shit, it's almost like the return of territories. So wrestling does have this old school vibe again. You got your majors and shit, but there's a lot of cool people you can find on the indies nowadays. Like 30 years ago when wrestling was huge, you wouldn't find that. I always say it's like on the indies, you expect to go see like your dad's fucking friend's uncle who works at the fucking bar. He's all drunk and fat and like, it's obviously so not real. We don't drop F-bombs on the show, but
right. No. It's so cool. It's so. I mean, this is so amazing where we are at with that, and it reminds me. Not to tie back into music, but it's how the music business is, man. The major labels still are strong. Major wrestling still strong, but you could do so much and get your music out there so easily, independently, and thanks to the internet, thanks to streaming, thanks to YouTube, thanks to all that stuff. The independent circuits are like that, and it's so cool to see. It really is, man. And we got it all throughout here in Kentucky and Indiana. It's strong, Southern Indiana, So
Ohio's coming up too. Like, dude, you got this major label thing, like this new thing. It's like all the spawns of fucking Mortician and shit with Sanguisugabog and Undeath and 200 Stab Wounds and like guys like that, dude. They're everywhere. They're touring with all the big names and shit.
Yeah,
and
dude.
It's, what's that label those guys are on? Maggot Stomp?
What 200 Stab Wounds I thought was on Century. Is that not right? Or Relapse?
Sanguisugabog is on Century.
Okay.
But they were fucking around with Maggot Stomp and shit, and Maggot Stomp's got like all those other bands. They're just like that. They're fucking blowing up, man. I know 200 played this year, I think, FTA, right? They played
yeah, and actually the drummer's in a thrash band called Assault, which shout out to Assault. They're from Cleveland. And so they played FTA also. So super nice dudes, super awesome guys.
What was that experience? That was your guys' first FTA, right?
Yes. Yeah, we're so lucky. God bless, man. Shane, Joey B got us on. Yeah. And originally he's like, all right, you guys are on. And our name was on like the bottom of the flyer, like bottom. Dude, right.
Been
we're
there.
like, we're playing it. We're probably going to have to open it. But that's okay. He doesn't know us. It'll be okay. We're still going to bring our A game. And then we did that show in Louisville, the No Comply Night at the skate park, which I don't know if you saw footage of that, but we filled the skate bowl full of rave foam. We bought a $1,000 rave shooter from Amazon to shoot foam. And so we filled it full, and Joey saw it, and he messaged me, or I messaged him actually. I sent it to him. He's like, yeah, I saw it. Bring all that stuff. I was like, well, it's funny you say that. Can we later slot? He said, absolutely on it. He put us on 7:00 on a Friday. So, because, we're all crowd engagement, man. I don't, I'll play for anyone and we'll do our best. But what we bring to the table in terms of that stuff, like I was out there in a hamster ball because I play guitar. But we had two guitarists, so rotating lineup a little bit.
My buddy Stone was over the other day, and he's like, we were talking about, I was telling him you were coming on the show, and he's like, oh yeah, I think motherfucker's in like a hamster ball or something.
I bought a hamster ball off Amazon.
That motherfucker was probably shrooming his ass off too, so he was probably
I can't drink before a set because the music fast anxiety, and I don't do it, dude.
It makes me belch too. So like certain parts I like go to do vocally, it's like, oh shit, there's a bubble. Forget that line. All right, I'm still on it. You know.
I love the drink, but not before. And yeah, dude, they stuck me. I bought it off Amazon. It was a human-sized hamster ball, and I got in it. I got a wireless mic, and I jumped right onto the crowd, and they launched me like 15 feet in the air. And I'm how I die, and I hit the ground, and I bounced, and I was okay. And then they rolled me around the pit for the first song, and I got out, and I took it. And the mic, I go, all right. And I chuck it over the fence where our car was, because, you know, we parked behind the stage. Go, all right, I got to send it back to Jeff Bezos. And sure enough, I made a video. That's the Belushi life hack, is we buy stuff off Amazon, and I sprayed it down with a hose, and I returned it to Jeff Bezos. So we went on tour with a bouncy house. We played, Liars Club. I was trying to think of it, though.
Okay.
138. We played Liars Club, and we had half that room with a bouncy house at the bouncy castle. And after tour, we returned it back to Jeff Bezos at Amazon because it had holes in it. So that's what I said. I said, you sent this to me with holes in it. So, you know, because it did. It had holes by the time we were done. So, you know, I feel bad, man. I don't know how his kids ate that week, you know, but whatever.
Yeah. That's fucking
He figures
great.
it out.
We do it all the time. We buy all
Those are
sorts of
great visual moments too. Like, you know, you're building an online, and the way you promote now as a band or any brand for that matter nowadays is, you know, you're putting everything out there that you can. That's your online portfolio, you know. So a video goes viral of like last year when God, who was it? Who headlined Full Terror last year?
It's the golf cart circle pit.
Yeah. I was there, but I wasn't even fucking there watching it. I'm sorry, guys. I was getting fucked up next to a fire listening to witchcraft. I don't know. You know?
It was sick. It was incredible.
Those are moments you live for, man. That's like, that's super cool. When the right person sees that, you know, like
we're a big, you know, our motto is, you know, people always ask us why, and we go, because it's funny. We just because it's
because you can. If you can, why shouldn't you?
But
look at guys like, I know, dude, how big of a fucking Alice Cooper fan are you, man?
I love Alice Cooper.
Dude. Yeah. Especially the first like 5 albums or like
his performance too. It's just phenomenal. He still does it, man. You know, he toured with, who did he tour with? Was it Maiden recently?
I don't know who the recent. He just wrapped up. I know they just did. Was it Vegas or Dallas with the Misfits?
There you go. Yeah, I knew he was out there, man. Yeah, I love him. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you talked about Kiss. I love Kiss's performance. So I never got to see him live. I want to really badly. I've seen Cooper live several times. So always cool. Yeah. Well, dude, he used to always. I grew up in Milwaukee. He used to always play Summerfest.
Hey, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Another Cooper reference. Great job. Yeah.
We're not worthy.
I met Alice Cooper like 3 or 4 times.
You did? You met Alice Cooper? Stretton, you don't talk this whole time. And then he's just like, yeah, motherfucker, I met Alice Cooper like 3 or 4 times.
What do you think of you? Was he cool? Does he play D&D like on that 70s show?
Oh, we didn't talk like that. I worked for a restaurant at the Radisson in Maryville, Indiana. I worked there for years, and he used to do shows yearly, all the time.
Yeah, he was there.
And so Sundays, if he played a show on Friday, I think he usually played on Saturdays. But anyways, he'd come in. We had this badass breakfast buffet at the Radisson, and he'd always come in, and he was always super cool, just chill, conversational, everything. We never talked about D&D or anything else. He's just a real cool dude.
Yeah,
he's just like every single time to whoever he met, he was into the fans, and it didn't matter how many people walked up to him. It didn't matter. Like, so we had a rule when we worked there because we had a lot of celebrities come through.
Talk.
Yeah, they would discourage, like, hey, leave them alone. You know, they did their thing, leave them alone. So most of us were very respectful. On occasion, I remember Deion Sanders came in for
oh shit, dude.
Deion Sanders came in for the Miss America pageant in Gary.
Yeah,
and
he did.
One of the guys that worked with us was a huge Deion Sanders fan, this dude named George. And he bought a football. And me and my buddy Genesis were like, don't go up to him, dude. Don't go up to him. He's a busy dude. He also doesn't give a fuck. Like, he doesn't care about your football or how big of a fan you are. And he goes, God, I gotta ask, man. So he walked up. The guy's having breakfast. He walked up and he's like, Mr. Sanders, I'm such a huge fan. Like, and he started rattling off all these statistics and all that. And he's like, please. And George was like, at the time, was probably 18. He's like a kid, you know?
Yeah.
And and Deion Sanders is like, he's like, can you please sign my ball, please? And he's like, no, not right now. I don't have time. And he's like, he's eating an omelet or whatever he's doing. He definitely has time. He's like, no, man, I don't have time right now. So me and Genesis watch this from like our waiter's station in the back. We're like, fuck it, we can't hold in our laughter. And and George walks over there all like defeated. His shoulders are hunched in. And Genesis is like, so what was it like meeting Deion Sanders? He's like, man, fuck Deion Sanders.
And that's a clip.
It was awesome. It was like, man, fuck Deion Sanders.
Never meet your heroes, man.
Yeah.
It's cool that you met Cooper. Like, I remember too, my old lady's like, her grandpa used to golf a lot out here at this one course. And Cooper would always come out and he'd like hang out. She's like, oh yeah, my grandpa and my dad met Alice Cooper and shit. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man? I need to meet the Coop because like you said, he's still killing it. And he's like one of the guys, like original guys that bring like that theatrical thing. To me, there's no Guar without Alice Cooper.
Correct.
There's no anything theatric. But he backed it up with, dude, like I said, those first 5 records, what is it? Pretty's for You, the Zappa produced one. It's a little, you know.
I don't like Zappa. I tell people to get pissed.
What's that?
I don't like Frank Zappa.
Oh, that's cool, man. I love him.
Boring. He's pretentious and boring. Oh, cool. You got toilet goes into your TV.
Cut this fucking guy off right now.
Yeah. That's gonna be a Belushi album. Is Zappa is boring. Oh, he doesn't have any
listen
breakdowns.
to the right Zappa, man.
No breakdowns, no pinch harmonics. Boring as fuck. Him and the Beatles.
You got here when Al Di Meola was fucking playing with him.
Yeah, I don't like Zappa, man. Cooper's cool. Fuck Zappa.
Yeah, but those like, I'm a huge Zappa fan. But what I'm getting at, that he produced that first fucking album for Alice Cooper, "Pretty's for You." And it sucks. But it's everything after that, you know, up until Muscle of Love. You know, I'm not a fan of Cooper's self that when he first broke off from the original band, you know, like Welcome to My Nightmare. I really don't care for that shit. You know, give me Halo of Flies, you know, fuck you.
I'm sorry you're a Zappa fan. I was kidding. I just like fucking with people. It's like the wife tells people Star Wars is boring.
Dude, my old lady hates Zappa with a passion. Trust me. I'm just like, come on, man. You make me listen to the worst
people. It makes people really mad if they like them. It's funny to me. So yeah, like I said, the wife tells people Star Wars is boring. You know, it should be like the movie's like 100 years old. It's fucking because you know that's people's personality of Star Wars, man. They get fucking pissed.
Well, dude, it's that and wrestling fans too, man. It's the worst. I tend to think wrestling fans can be a little more toxic than
dude,
off-putting than Star Wars people, you know?
Yeah, man, that's hard. It's hard. Yeah, that's a good point, man. There's a lot of fan bases like that to where but you guys are cool, you're wrestling fans.
I know. You know, we're trying to break the mold, you know, break the cycle of the vicious cycle of bullshit, you know, of all these dorky ass motherfuckers, you know, like be a fan of what you like. Be passionate about it, and hey, it's the golden rule. It's the old school. Like it's very simple, very black and white. If you ain't got nothing nice, don't say it at all. You know, unless it directly affects you and harms you. You know,
when they hate on them and those dudes are out there busting their ass, I'm not into that, man. No. Anyone there and fucking runs those ropes, they have my all-time respect, regardless of what they're doing. And like you said, there's so much politics involved. You know what I mean? Especially dude, they make or break those people on purpose, man. You know, like I said, I watch all those interviews and stuff, and it's wild. You know, it's wild, like how they could totally just take someone's career and just destroy it.
Yeah, so, it's cutthroat, and nowadays it's not the promoters even doing that. I mean, there's still bad booking, but WWE is getting better. You know, Vince is out, Triple H is running it. He's kind of giving us what we wanted in AEW. They're trying to give us now in WWE. It's the fans, the cancel culture shit and all that. Some of it's warranted. I mean, I guess if somebody does some real fucked up shit, by all means, hold them accountable. But it's like every little thing, you can't be edgy anymore, even like in a character like circumstance. It just seems like people don't get it. They're so like, oh, well, I'm so offended by that. Like it was character,
Yeah.
Like I think MJF's got all the Christians pissed off because he's like, where are my devil worshippers? It's like, come on, dude. And whatever, he's Jewish,
Yeah. Yeah. They don't get it. They're playing it's like you said, they're playing a character. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Man, you're watching live theater. We're not using that word. I'm just saying you got to understand that that's what that person you're watching out there. Stone Cold's a good example going back to Attitude Era. You know what I mean?
Dude, yeah, you're watching a live action movie or a horror movie or whatever, or comedy unfold in front of you, doing live stunts. That's what it is. That's why I don't get like, you don't talk shit, like extreme shit about, well, some people do, because movies have a very, there's a lot of shitty people that just over critique stuff. Like if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. I don't spend most of my time talking about the bad shit, Hey, as we wind down here, Vinny, I got to ask you, you've been around the scene for a little while now. What's some of the weirdest encounters, or one of the weirdest encounters that you may have experienced in doing Belushi Speedball?
Oh, shit, man.
Because there's a lot of weird motherfuckers out there, dude. You know
what, man? I appreciate, because it's still kind of surreal. Because we've been a band for about 10 years, and it's surreal when people recognize me. Like we pulled up to Full Terror, and shout out to Nate. He lives in Minnesota, and him and his buddies came down just for us. And when I pulled in, they're like, Vinny from Belushi, because they never met me before. And like, it was so, like, it's surreal. And I was like, hey, buddy, we met. And I rolled up the window, and I looked at my wife, and I'm like, that's how fucking famous I am.
It choked her out because she was like, nah, mother.
That's right. But no, for realistically, I'm so humbled. And anytime anyone is like, hey, I love Belushi or whatever, and it's humbling. So I don't really get too many weird encounters, but
you ever had like anything like as far as like your pits, because sometimes people in the pit take shit way out of control.
Yeah. Man, like you got to think we made people roll around in cream corn on Friday.
We did.
Like we get pretty fucking weird. I'll tell you. So some of the weirdest shit that's ever happened to me. I will say this is like what once in a while people will be really, and I'm sober. I'm sober when we play. Like I said, the music's too fast. People will come up and they'll tell me like their life stories sometimes because they've seen me and they think I know them.
You got that Dave Chappelle Wrap It Up box. Sren loves that box.
Exactly. And I don't want to walk away. And they're like coked out of their mind telling me everything about their life, man, one time in Asheville, this is a real thing in Asheville, North Carolina. This is our first tour we ever did.
North Carolina.
He came up to me and he was like, hey, Vinny, you ski? And I was like, and I'm from Wisconsin. So I was like, no, man.
Gay? What are you talking about?
I never had money to ski. I slutted, and he was like, oh,
are we talking about drugs or like actual?
I'm getting to that. So I'm dumb. I've never done I've never really done much, man. I'll be honest. I'm very naive. And like I said, I drink, I've drank before. I still like alcohol, but in moderation. But it's like, yeah, no, Vinny, like you ski, man? I'm like, ski like two I'm like, two guys? Like, what are you talking about? Like skiing? He's like, no, man. Like hit the slopes. I'm like, no, I told you I've never done that. He's like, no, cocaine. And I went, obviously not. But he thought because of how I am on stage and we're animals for a while, he's like, oh, that guy for sure loves coke, But I had that, man, and then No, dude, as far as show stuff goes, we get pretty fucking weird. There was one time I told the sound guy, I said, "Hey man, we're gonna get weird tonight." And and he went, "I've seen some pretty weird shit in my time." I went, "Okay." And so there's like this beautiful brand new stage they built in a bar called Zanzibar, and we're playing in front of it.
Zanzibar.
I go, we're playing in front of it. It's like a 400 capacity room in Louisville. It's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. And I go, we're going to play in front of it. And he was like, what? So we played in front of this bar, in front of the stage, on the ground. And that's a trick we do to cut the room in half. It shoves everyone in the back. So it forces all that energy. And then we were doing Eyes Wide Shut. And so mid-set, we stop. And we go in the back room and we get into robes and we get naked and with like underwear on. And we come out, we got all the like Eyes Wide Shut masks on, like the bird things. And we got like the Catholic, like the incense. And we come out, we bring out this giant unicorn pool and I get in it. And I like, and we got our buddies on stage playing trombones. They're just going, nice. And I undo my robe and I get in the...
Go into Rick Rude mode.
I get in this pool, in the scene in Eyes Wide Shut, they pour blood on her, but we did Chuck E. Cheese balls, like the ball pit. So we had like 2,000 balls, and everyone starts pouring them on me. As they pour them on me, we cut back into the song. And we had on video, the sound guy was watching all this, and his face just went from and he was just going like that, just in awe. So that was funny. But how can my fans out weird that, dude? We do some weird shit.
Yeah.
There's not much they can do to creep me out,
Well, you guys, when you do your shows and shit too, do you because I read an article about you guys, some radio station or something did, and you guys give away some of your costumes and shit? Like stage use shit?
We give away everything. The whole thing is we're just chucking shit at the crowd, trash and whatever. Like, so for Trick or Yeet, man, we hit them with like 200 cans of LaCroix, but we had like...
Oh, I wish I was there, dude. I've been fucking getting baptized in LaCroix. Oh.
We're hipster.
Pamplemousse bouquet, motherfucker.
Yeah. But no, man, we did a -$2 show, and that was all about how much money can we lose. And so we literally, we had a big money fight. We threw money out. We threw out video games and like books. And, yeah, dude, we're always doing props for people to take home. So like, man, we probably had $500 worth of candy and toys on Friday. We had Pokemon cards. I've done 20,000 Pokemon cards before. We just dump them out on people. So, yeah. We don't really have like costumes, but we give away so much stuff. It's for people to take,
Yeah, dude. And that creates a good connection, especially if people are into you, It's like you go home with something every time, when you go to any other concert of any other band you want, you're usually dropping 40, 50 to hundreds of dollars on merch and shit. Like,
yeah.
If I'm some dude that just found Belushi Speedball like I am, and I was in the front and they're throwing fucking dollar bills at me because, hey, I'm poor,
Yeah,
you guys
man.
send us some money in the super chat on YouTube, so we're not so po.
Yeah, like I said, every show's different. Like there was one time we had 1,000 teeny beanie babies. I went about $5, and we shot them out of a t-shirt cannon at the crowd. We just kept shooting beanie babies, and I made an announcement that we had all these beanie babies for free, and there was literally probably 40 or 50 people I'd never seen before. And after our set, they came up on stage and took all the beanie babies off the stage and just ran out the door. It was like all these like older women.
No shit.
Beanie baby fix. Yeah, so every show's different, man. Yeah, absolutely. You always leave us something.
What's the biggest show as we get ready to end here? What's the biggest show you've ever played? And are you guys looking? Would you do something if like Maryland Death Fest called?
Yeah,
they're still going. And
yeah,
Jamie
man,
Josta, I hear, is bought the rights to Milwaukee Metal Fest, so that's
cool. Back. Oh yeah, dude. Play with Macabre.
Dude, I like that. Jeffrey.
Yeah. they always play Metal Fest, and like the crowd like damn near killed them at the rave.
Oh yeah, dude.
No, yeah, man, we would love to. We'd love doing that stuff. No Comply Night was like 1,000 kids. That was this year at the skate park. That was pretty big. You know what I mean? And then Full Terror was a lot of people, and it just get bigger. So the next show is going to be the biggest show.
Fuck yeah. And speaking of that, hey, where can motherfuckers see you guys next, and where can they buy merch and get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can buy merch at facebook.com/Metallica, and they have some beautiful stuff for you to get. So I used to say that at shows. I used to be like, yeah, go like us on facebook.com/The Misfits. And I stopped doing it because I had a kid come up to me. He's like, so you guys are called The Misfits? And I was like, shit, I got to stop doing that. We're losing potential fans. But no, Bandcamp, man, I do everything through Bandcamp, and it's always getting updated, and all our wild merch is there, and even stuff that's sold out, it's up there because, you know, for legacy reasons, and a lot of times we get it back in. But BelushiSpeedball.bandcamp.com will get you there, and our albums are up there. And then our next shows, we got we're playing a house show in Indiana somewhere.
Really?
Oh, dude, we love all ages shows, house shows. Like, yeah, we like to play living rooms, and you get like, they're insane. We played this one house show in a house that was like kind of dilapidated, and I wanted to do the Aristocats thing. Like, hey, everybody, I wanted to fall through the floor. So I made the crowd start jumping. I go, jump, jump, jump. I wanted to go through that floor. I wanted to do it. I was like, hey, everybody wants to be a cat. And, you know, I wanted to do it, but we didn't, but we did condemn the house. We shifted the floor like that far, but yeah, we live for that stuff. But we're playing headliners here in Louisville in December for Sweater Fest. It's December 17th. We're coming out to Chicago for Death Fest, for Forever Death, not Dead, Forever Death Fest. I think we're playing with Texas Toast Chainsaw Massacre. I think
Yeah.
of them. And in March, we're playing St. Thrashic's Day in Baltimore. And so, like, you know, with those shows in the future, we're going to try and book around them. And so get out there more, try to get out of the city more. So,
yeah, brother.
We can't tour, you know, but we get moments of breaks and stuff like the summer. It's, you know, so yeah.
That's how we do it in Handsome Prick, man. It's like, hey, we got families and jobs. Like, want to play like best shows we can when we can, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So you all come down to Louisville, come play with us.
Dude, make it happen. We had dude, there was like 2 years ago, some dude was booking some big shit in Lexington, I think it was.
Okay.
It was like Malignancy was supposed to play. And what boys with Malignancy? I've known Danny for probably going on 20 years, you know?
So much.
I'm old. But they booked like a pretty decent show, and then the dude was like flaky and he canceled it, and then he's like, well, hey, can you guys play Ohio? And it was like last minute notice. It's like, no, we can't fucking, you know.
Well, dude, I was a headliner for Irate Fest. So
really?
I don't know if you're in the news, if you're aware of what Irate Fest was in Kentucky. But that made the news. Like Lamb Goat and Loudwire, they all talk about it. So it was a debacle. It's supposed to be Slaughter to Prevail's first US show in a long time. They were supposed to play it, and we were gonna do. We were co-headlining our spot with Jason Page, who did the Pokemon theme song.
No shit.
Yeah, that festival. You get bored. Look up what happened with that. That was pretty wild. It got canceled. It was pretty. You talk about flakiness. It was pretty insane. That's a wild story. So, you know, man, we're well aware. That sucks, man. That's the name of the game, man. You know, so
yeah, but it hasn't happened a lot, you know. So that's
no, dude. Most people are cool.
Yeah,
that's a thing. Yeah, and you know, we're not. You know, we're pretty. Like the only time we ask for guarantees is when it's travel expenses. You know what I mean?
Got to. Man.
We're not in this for the money. We're in it for the fame. So
drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
She won't leave me alone either. Like, she can just leave, but
it's all good. Vinny, brother, once again, thank you so much for coming on the show. We'd love to have you back anytime, man. So whenever you guys got something coming on, something hot, maybe we'll do the other episode too. I mean, it doesn't matter what show we're on.
Almost done. So,
hey, everybody watching right now on YouTube, hit like, subscribe, share with your motherfucking friends.
Yeah.
If you're listening right now on any podcasting platform, which I hope you are, rate, review, fucking once again, share it with your friends. Spread the motherfucking word so we can keep having cool motherfuckers on like fucking Vinny. Because it's a good time. Who else does what, hang out, drink some beers, hang with cats. Sren doesn't talk much, even though he's Andre the Giant, and that's a shoot. Thank you guys. Visit our prowrestlingtees.com/JPDUB and buy our fucking shirts. Buy them. You're fucking slacking. Can't entertain them enough. We got to keep them wet. Sren. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that dumb shit, man. Find over 200 fucking plus hours of content of insane shit. It's a good time. And until next time, this is The Juice. That's motherfucking Sretton the Savage. And that's Vinny Crastellano, a fucking Belushi's people. Take it back to the old school. Wet 'em up, wet 'em up, wet 'em up.
You gonna do sex to me?
Did you like that video? If so, be sure to hit like and subscribe and check out more killer content from your boys at Juice Pro Wrestling. Whoa, yeah!